Today, International Banker is joined by Olivier Calloud, CEO of Piguet Galland, to discuss the bank's financial performance, their approach to client relationship management, and the impact of AI on the bank and the wider private banking industry. Really good to have you here with us.
Thank you, Simon.
Now, you recently announced your financial results for the 2025 financial year. Among the highlights was assets under management reaching CHF 8.6 billion by year end of 2025, which was 6.4% higher than a year earlier. What were the key drivers behind this growth?
So, in fact, this growth is also resonate with regular growth we have been experienced over the 8 past years. And for me, it tells a lot about the trust that our client place in the brand, in Piguet Galland. But if I come back to 2026, the main key driver of the growth has been positive market condition on one side, and also a very steady and robust net new money on our core targeted client segment, meaning French-speaking part of Switzerland client, which is really where we focus as of today. But this growth also is very interesting in a world where financial information is everywhere. Clients have, thanks to technology, have access to a lot of investment platform, to very sophisticated investment. Everything is very easy. With their phone, they can have access to everything. And yet, they are still looking for trusted personal advice and something with a human relationship in the middle, at the heart of the relation. And we think that our business model combine this type of long-term relationship, proximity with client, investment expertise, and seamless digital tools to enable that relationship with the client.
Okay, so in its 2026 edition, the Swiss Private Banking Identity Index, which provides analysis of how effectively Swiss private banks leverage their identity and activation as strategic tools for competitive advantage, it ranked you in the leader category, which includes only a minority of all the banks assessed. What would you say are the key underlying factors that makes your bank's identity so powerful in the marketplace?
I think one of the main factors is authenticity. We try to, we have this concept of intimate banking, and it's not a marketing slogan. We try to make our client feel different kind of banking relationship, to be closer to their needs, to their life project, to their ambition, long-term ambition, to their concern. And I think we have created a culture, a client culture, that helps us to deliver this type of promise we make to our client. And I think in the world of today, authenticity can be a real competitive advantage.
Now, I mean, picking up on that, the bank's become renowned for its intimate banking approach to client relationship management. What does intimate banking mean for you in 2026 in terms of some of the commonalities identified across the conversations you have recently been having with your clients? And perhaps you could give us an example or two.
So intimate banking is relatively new. We have crafted that concept like 1 year ago. But in fact, it's just a continuation of a positioning that we used to call like a trusted family doctor for our client wealth. It's just new name to illustrate the same approach to our client to relationship. And the idea is, yes, we are private banking specialists, so we are dealing with portfolios, with assets, with financial decision. But in our day-to-day relationship with the client, the question that the client are asking to us is not only a technical and investment question, it's also life question. Like for instance, when how I will maintain my lifestyle when I retire, how I should prepare the transmission of my wealth to my children, should I repay my mortgage, if I have a liquidity event, how I will use it, deal with that in terms of wealth planning and so on. That's really life question, and the idea behind the intimate banking is that we are not only a specialist in terms of investment, but able to understand all this life project, all that long-term goal of the client, because the client do not only entrust us with assets, we have also to deal with emotions. And it's exactly what we try to explain through the intimate banking concept.
Now, as I understand, proximity to clients is a particularly important priority within Piguet Galland's client relationship model. Are there any specific ways in which you've improved client proximity through your physical presence, by digital means, and or another method? Are there any plans to improve this aspect of client relationships in the near future?
So, yes, in the last 5 years, we have first we have improved our physical presence in the French-speaking part of Switzerland. We have created a new office in La Chaux-de-Fonds, in the canton of Neuchâtel, for instance. We had already 5 locations in Switzerland. We have also increased the number of relationship management in the manager in the different offices that we have in Switzerland. So physical presence is key to ensure the proximity with the client. But also, we have also invested in digital tools, like your new mobile first e-banking platform. Because the idea behind that, these tools, digital tools, is not to replace humanity through digital, but it's to reduce friction and all the administrative tasks to save time for the client and for the advisor in front of the client, and to help them to focus on what really matters. And what really matters is conversation, for instance, more than transaction. It's building a long-term relationship with the client, and for that, digital tools can be very helpful to reducing friction and helping to save, to free up time for the advisor and for the client.
Well, thinking about technology, approximately a year ago, Piguet Galland launched its cloud-based e-banking platform in partnership with the Swiss technology provider ELCA and the wealth management technology specialist FNZ. Now, you're 1 year on. Are you able to share any customer feedback or satisfaction data from using this platform? And what would you say have been the most significant benefits to the bank of moving to cloud-based technology?
Yes, so we launched we worked during 2 years on that project, and we launched it last year. So it is new mobile-first e-banking platform. And the basic idea behind that was to considerably improve user experience and the user interface of our mobile banking. That was the first objective, and also in developing that with a cloud-based platform was to gain in terms of flexibility, to be able to to develop new functionality in a simpler way and at a faster pace, because it's very important to cope with the ever evolving client expectation, and also to have a very good base in terms of operational resilience and security, because it's also very important when you deal with this type of data and interaction with the client. So it's a reason why we invest in that platform. And yes, the feedback after 1 year are very good. We have done at the end of last year, or every 2 years we organize like customer satisfaction survey. We have a NPS which is very high for a bank, like 69, and net promoter score about 69, which is very rare. It's like Apple. So we are not the Apple of the private banking, but still we have a net promoter score which is very high, and a customer satisfaction total global index of 9.2 out of 10. So it's part due to the technology and partly due to the quality of the human interaction.
Now, I understand that one of your highest priorities in recent months has been to digitalize all major customer journeys. That's from onboarding to portfolio review and lending. How's that going? And once this objective is achieved, what particular aspects of the customer journey do you envisage human interaction with clients still being important?
Yeah. Exactly. So the objective is really to digitize the process, not the relationship. So, and we are working on each processes now. On the lending process, for instance, we are also working on the advising, investment advising processes, because they are very important in our offer. But again, the idea is to have like a seamless a digital process to reduce all the friction we can have and to reduce the complexity. But in the same time, to free up time for the advisor to deal with very important, the most important question in the relationship. For instance, big investment decision, or family matters, or when you have market uncertainties, as we had the last few months. It's so important to have time to contact the client. It's so all that initiative, like our ebanking system, our mobile banking system, the digitalization of the processes, have just the aim to improve the quality of the interaction with the client, digital and human.
Now, how impactful would you say artificial intelligence has proven in recent times, both within Piguet Galland and the wider Swiss private banking industry? How significantly are you currently investing in AI-powered solutions, both operationally within the bank and for improving client relationships, which we were just talking about? And do you see this technology playing an increasingly important role over the coming years?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of the biggest revolution we have to face in that industry. So we definitely are starting to take that wave and to surf the wave. So but it's a real challenge. What we have done is on that subject is all our employees, because we are in the Microsoft environment, so all our employees have access to Copilot in their professional environment. The idea also we organizing also training for all the employees to make sure they can get used to these new tools. Copilot is important because it's also in a very safe environment in terms of data, and it's also something we have to take into account in the banking world, to make sure that the data are secure and controlled and cannot go anywhere. So it's absolutely key. So we are working on this, and a lot of use cases are emerging in the investment team, in the marketing team, in the back office, in the compliance. So yes, there is a lot of a bottom-up approach based on these, and we're also working on several top-down use cases. And one of these use cases could be directly related to the client. The client can also use this type of thing within the bank. And what is also important in that, because at the end it's not only a technical change that will certainly improve the efficiency, for sure, of the bank, but also the personalization of the service we offer to the client. So it's a two main benefits we can get from AI. But it's also a cultural change. So it's very important that the tone comes from the top and that all the initiatives are led by the managing team of the bank. So it's what we create, a cultural change and a technical change, and also to make sure that people have the right competency and the right culture to deal with this transformation.
And it is going to be a transformation. I think you're absolutely right about that. As Piguet Galland's chief executive, what would you say has been your most significant challenge over the last year or so in terms of banking leadership? And have you strived to address that challenge?
So we just discussed about the transformation that AI could bring to that industry, and we are facing a lot of challenges in that industry in Switzerland, but I guess in the banking world in general, like regulation, financial market condition, change in client expectation. Also, it's very, very important. So, a big part of my role, of the role of my leadership team, is to manage those transformations, to adapt the bank on the new deal and the new conditions. And we try to do that in a way that also, that the culture of the bank can adapt at its own pace to this transformation. Because transformation is not technological at the end, it's a question of people. So you have to bring with you all the people to make sure that they understand, accept, and are engaged in that transformation. And that's really my role within a company like Piguet Galland, is to make sure that we can transform the bank according to the strategy, but making sure that all the people that are working with us are involved and engaged in that transformation. I have just an anecdote, a small example. So this year we are celebrating the bank has been created like 170 years ago in Yverdon-les-Bains, a small city close to Lausanne in Switzerland. So it's a very nice anniversary. But also we are celebrating one of my colleagues that will retire this year after 42 years with the bank.
Right.
So this lady will have witnessed personally 1/4 of the life of the bank. And I think, at the same time, we're recruiting, fresh blood from the university, specialists in AI, and this diversity, celebrating people with 42 years of experience and finding the way to integrate in the organization people with completely AI minded. I think it's a pretty cool thing, in fact, and it's part of how you transform without a big revolution your culture and adapt the culture of all the change.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing the story with us.
Thank you, Simon.